Hey y'all. Hey, it's Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm. Thanks so much for joining me. Got a question for you. Who isn't on a wellness journey? Who isn't on a wellness journey? If you're not on a wellness journey, put that in comments for us and let us know you're good to go. You're 120% your very best version of yourself. You are no longer on a wellness journey. But my guess is most of us are on some kind of wellness journey, whether it's very casual and laid back approach to it, something that comes very naturally to us as a lifestyle, or whether it's something that we feel like we're on the struggle bus with, 4 steps behind with, failed 1,000 times with. But most of us are on some kind of wellness journey where it's at least in our mindset the correlation between the things that we do, the choices we make, and the physical wellness that we have. And there's other components of wellness naturally too: emotional wellness, social wellness, spiritual wellness, and it all plays a part in our physical wellness. But I am on a wellness journey specific to physical wellness, and I love this song that's recently been released, The Backup Plan. The only backup plan you need is get back up. And that is so true in every endeavor, right? The only secret to success is to just refuse to give up. So if we're just never willing to give up and we refuse to quit trying, and we commit to the backup plan of just getting back up every time, then eventually we have to find success. You know, it's even like in sales, they say, you know, it's going to take 9 no's to get to 1 yes. So you just keep asking people to look at what you're selling, right? And eventually, if you got a good product, somebody's going to buy it. And then once some people buy in, word of mouth is going to help spread that. So of course, that's something that we're very familiar with in our small farm business. But this video is about the wellness journey. So I just recorded and uploaded a short that temporarily is set on private until I get this recorded. Day 1 of a new wellness journey. And I've set out on a wellness journey thousands of times and failed, and I'm just getting back up, going back to it, trying again. So day 1 of a new wellness plan. And the cool thing about every time that we've attempted something and we don't succeed at it is we learn some things that don't work. Maybe they just don't work for us in particular, or don't work in our set of circumstances or resources. But when we learn what doesn't work, we rule out a lot of things. We get closer and closer and closer to learning what does work for us. So what I'm going to attempt to do is a 120-day wellness journey. Now, that's the real question. Who is on a wellness journey? And seriously, if you are on a wellness journey, put that in the comments. That's what makes a community like this really enriching. Like, let's share some of our experiences. We find out what we have in common, and we learn from what is different, and we inspire each other to do better. So let's inspire each other. If you're on a wellness journey and you're prioritizing the wellness journey and you're committed to it, what things didn't work for you? What things are working for you? Share that in the comments. But I am prioritizing a 120-day wellness journey. This is July 11th, 2025. And today I was just focusing on kind of the relationship with food and a starting point for improving that. So today I'm only focusing on a shortened eating window, like 5 or 6 hours, 2 meals that are pretty protein rich, prioritizing a tablespoon of butter in each meal with my protein, and just whole foods, not ultra processed foods, with one kind of exception to that, I guess. There's an alternative soda that I like that I did include in my day because it's better than the alternative. Okay, so my weakness is Dr. Pepper, and I love it. And if it was made with real sugar, I'd probably give myself a pass on it. It's not easy to access Dr. Pepper made with real sugar right here where I am. But even if it was made with real sugar, there's still other preservatives in sodas. Sodium benzoate. There may be other additives in sodas. Coloring, caramel color is a common one. Those things I know aren't good for us either. But the high fructose corn syrup is something that I've really gotten a good handle on identifying in food products and rejecting, so therefore eliminating from my diet for the most part. But my downfall is Dr. Pepper. And so I tried some alternative soda Olipop that I actually really like. So we just source it directly from where it's made out in California, have it shipped here once a month. That helps me really reduce and try to stay away from the Dr. Pepper. But I slip up on that. But here I am, 120-day wellness journey. I need to prioritize no soda that has the high fructose corn syrup in it. Get back to really prioritizing that. So I did include Olipop in my eating plan today, but that's what today's focus is for me on day one of this 120-day wellness journey. I'd love to read your tips and comments. What are your top tips on developing healthy relationship with food? So I told you I was focusing on protein rich, including incorporating a tablespoon of butter with the protein. Short eating window, 5 or 6 hours. I'm only going to get about 2 meals in there, and then I'm going to start a water fast. Undetermined how long I'm going to fast. Going to kind of see how it's going. But for me, I know having an eating window in the early part of the day that includes a protein load, and I got a good night's sleep last night, that's all a good lead-in for me to a fast. So that is setting up a successful fast for me. So I probably will lean to trying to do an extended fast. And if I post this video, which I intend to, there's going to be an added layer of accountability for me, because I've said to whatever quantity of audience watches this, hey, I'm going to do an extended fast starting July 11th, 2025. So there'll be some layer of accountability that I will probably follow up on with that. So I'll want to be able to follow up with, hey, I had a great fast. Not that it'd be easy, not that it would necessarily feel good throughout the fast, because fasting is very hard, very difficult. I'm not recommending that everybody does it. I would only advocate that you do it if you really feel super confident that physically your body can handle it. And that's something for you to either know internally on your own, or work with healthcare providers that you absolutely trust to help you determine that. But I do feel confident that physically I can handle it. So that's the goal for today. And that's what I mean by prioritizing on day one a starting point for that relationship with food, really in terms of 3 things: the food choices themselves, the portion size choices, and the timing. And when I say timing, that has a lot to do overall with my lifestyle in the work week. My work day ends very, very late. So there's definitely a tendency for me to want to eat very, very late. And that really kind of throws off how things go, leads to eating too frequently for me, because it kind of contributes to cravings, because it begins, just a repetitive bad cycle when it impacts the sleep and I'm not getting good sleep. So I need to start with some of the timing of when I'm actually eating, and I can shorten the eating window, and that will maybe help. So overall, long term, I'm thinking if I could just train myself to not eat after 6 p.m. in the evening, that would be great. But that is something that I'm going to have to work with my own habits. This is a day that I don't go to work late in the evening, so I can start with moving the eating timing earlier in the day and cutting it off early afternoon, and then get a good start on a fast over the weekend, because I don't have to have those late evenings. So hopefully I can start to build this habit. But then also the food choices in terms of what am I actually eating, trying to really cut out that high fructose corn syrup, like I've got a great start on. Cut out preservatives, cut out additives, eat whole foods, eat foods that are one ingredient, and cook from that, and that's what I'm consuming. So for my early meal, I didn't eat till 9:30, but I had 4 eggs, farm fresh eggs from our hens right here, a tablespoon of butter. Butter with protein is a good thing. Butter with protein is better than butter with carbs. So I melted a tablespoon of butter in the skillet, cooked my eggs in that, just seasoned it with salt and pepper to taste. There's other spices. As I get better at this, I want to work into my routine, but I'm not there yet. Just focused on the protein and the butter this morning, and I just used salt and pepper with it. And then I had a cup full of fresh sliced cucumbers that actually from the neighbor, just a couple farm fields and one house down the road here. to the north. So had that and some Baby Bell cheese, and I did have 2 Olipop with my breakfast. I'm gonna get a lot of water intake later, so I'm not concerned about I didn't have a lot of water yet. When I cut off the eating and switch to the water fast, as the day is going on, I'm going to be consuming a lot of water, so that'll work out fine. So, you know, part of working on moving forward and improving is also kind of reflecting on, well, how in the world did we get here? You know, and I used to be a very slender person. A lot of us can say that as we've aged, we've become less slender. There's more of us to love these days, you know. So, but was very slender. And what I liked better about that was my range of motion was better. Inflammation was noticeably less of a problem. I was able to move better, to flex better, to stretch better, to reach better, all those things. I want that back. I want some of that back. I want more of it back than I have right now. So that is a big motivation for me on why am I getting focused on how the weight is getting heavier? Why am I getting focused on where the weight is building up? Because I notice that it impacts my mobility, my flexion, my being able to stretch, my being able to reach, like I just said. So I want to improve that. Am I going to be able to go back to what I could wear and what I weighed when I was 18, 19, 20 years old? I'm sure I'm not going to be able to. I'm about 46 years old. I've had 4 C-sections, and I've made probably 25 years of bad eating choices, at least. A year, 18 months, 2 years. Obviously, this is something that's going to take a lot of time, right? So hopefully in 120 days, if I can stick to making improvements every day, I will see an improvement in not only what kind of size am I, but also how much can I stretch? How much can I reach? How much can I flex? How much can I play? What's my mobility like? How much joint pain do I have? Hopefully I see improvements in all those things, even just in 120 days, just by making better choices. Because I do believe the body is resilient. I do believe the body is created by God. I also believe the soul is infused into the physical body at the very moment of conception. I believe that we are made by God in His image in order to be happy with Him in heaven forever someday. That's part of my spiritual wellness. And we are on earth, and the mission here is to know Him, love Him, and serve Him so that we can be happy with Him in heaven after we're here on earth. So that's part of my spiritual wellness. And that has an impact for me on the physical wellness and being able to prioritize it. So with the fasting too, there's a little bit of a spiritual element to that, especially when it's hard to carry on with the fast. I can think about how that suffering can be purging bad habits from myself in one sense. So day 1, wellness journey, 120 days. Going to try to do a little better every day and try to maintain the habits that I start. There will be multiple days spent on the relationship with food. There'll be multiple days that are working on fasting. There'll be multiple days that are working on trying to be outside more, trying to move more, trying to improve the quality of sleep. So it's not going to be one thing a day, 120 different things. It's going to be some core things over and over again, building up good habits. And I'm going to try to document it day by day on our YouTube channel here at Twin Oaks Family Farm. And I know I'm not alone on this wellness journey. So please, I love to read your contributions in the comment threads. Also, I hope you'll give the video a thumbs up. If you've been here, you've watched some of it, let it play for at least 30 seconds, please, and please give it a thumbs up. And please leave a message. Consider even sharing the video if you think it would possibly inspire anybody in your circle to prioritize their own physical wellness too. Go ahead and share it with somebody. And we do have channel memberships. Please ask questions about that in the comments if you have any questions about the channel memberships. If you press join where it says join, you're not immediately going to be charged for anything. You're going to have an opportunity to look at some information. So we do try to do some special things on a routine basis in terms of videos and posts just for members. And I'm open to hearing your feedback on that and trying to improve that and take that in the direction our membership community wants it to go. So thanks for joining me. The idea with documenting this on YouTube is there will be a short form video each day and a long form video that's maybe 4 or 5 minutes each day, just telling you what I'm prioritizing that day, how it's going, and what I'm looking ahead at as we go through the 120 days. So this is day 1 of 120, prioritizing a starting point for better relationship with food. For me, that includes focusing on the actual food choices themselves, the portion sizes, and the timing of how frequently I'm eating and when I want to keep all my eating before 6 p.m. Hopefully, that's the habit that I'm working toward building. And the logic behind that is just you're able to get better quality of sleep if your body isn't in that immediate post-meal digestion process. So thanks for joining me. Hope you'll check out these videos. Feel free to check out any other videos on the channel. A lot of them are about raising chickens, meat chickens and egg chickens, and about our rural lifestyle, including trucks, dogs, work ethic, and family life. So thank you very much. We appreciate y'all. God bless you, and have a great day. Day 1 of 120, starting strong on a wellness journey. Thanks for joining me, y'all. God bless you.